What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome to another podcast slash casual nerd episode where I'm here with Mandy. Mandy plays. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You approached me about doing
Wherever I
a
am.
podcast on like my channel and everything. I was like, wait, is the Mandy Plays asking me to do a podcast? Yes, absolutely. Of course. Are you kidding me? Like, I absolutely love your
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I love your channel. I love your content. You guys, her link and her stuff will be in the description below. So first of all, I want to know, and my audience would love to know, what is it that you primarily do on your channel for those who might not know or have heard about you?
Well, I'm Mandy, and I do mostly Nintendo content. I do reviews. I do unboxings or just general, like, chatting about gaming culture. What else do I do? I live stream. That's a big part. I live stream. And, yeah, I just game on my channel. So if you're interested, join.
Yes, join the Mandy cult. There could be cookies, potentially, maybe, with some nice warm milk. And
I'm very nice. I'm very nice. Sometimes.
So I mean, like, okay, so we need to discuss the tea on this because I remember I remember going on Twitter one day and I remember you'd say like, oh, I kind of like had to mute a tweet, and I'm like, what tweet is she talking about? Then I looked at your timeline. I was like, oh no, the bad Dark Souls fans apparently got a hold of the tweet.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember when I was first going into Elden Ring, just to clarify, I am a Dark Souls fan, but it's not a game for everyone. So it's something of where I will say that it is absurd the amount of bugs that I encountered in Dark Souls and a lot of the Soulsborne games. I even had to stop playing Dark Souls 2 because of just the enemy placement was just absolutely horrible. I couldn't stand it. But I will say that anybody who can get through a Dark Souls game without at least screaming once, I will say that you are either a masochist or someone who just I don't know what's going on. Like, why aren't you screaming at this game? But still, it's one of those titles of where I don't think anyone should be. I feel like there should be a healthy conversation about it, but the kind of backlash you got simply for stating an opinion was just.
And it wasn't even the difficulty kind of thing. Because I do have a problem with the difficulty and how they tackle it. Because from my perspective, like, I don't see a fun in just dying all the time. I mean, that's some allure for some people to, like, conquer and stuff, but, like, to me, I'm just like, why the heck is this a game? Like, it's not fun for me. Though, Elden Ring, I had a more easier time, because I do have Demon Souls for my PlayStation 5. And that one, I was in the same hallway for, like, I think I'm still in the same hallway. Because I just keep dying, and I don't know what to do. And the Souls community is like, they're either really helpful or really not helpful.
There's no middle. There's only very much extremes. Like, when I first went into the community and I kind of voiced my opinion on the storyline and everything like that, even though it wasn't like a hot take or anything like that, there were people who were like, oh, you should just, play the game. It wasn't anything really helpful. It was just like, you just have to experience it. I'm like, okay, Karen, let's see what happens. And it was just one of those things of where, like, you see, as someone who loves the games, and I thought that, this would be such a cool conversation to have, because it's like, as someone like you love Kirby, you love Nintendo games, and you love that entire universe, and I'm like over here loving all the blood and the gore and the Elden Ring and everything.
I mean, I don't shy away from hard games. It's just like, the Souls game is like a breed of hard where it's like, you start off like the difficulty spike is always up. There's no, like, chart, like, oh, okay, this part gets easier, you could grind a little.
Yeah.
No, the difficulty spike is always on high. And that's like, I don't know. Because when I beat the first boss in Elden Ring, I was like, it's gonna be torture going to the next one.
Everything is, it's like the entire game is on cocaine. It doesn't stop. anywhere close. The
Yeah, like
one thing I can
I'm
say is that if you ever decide to like dip the proverbial toe back into that game, just know that the last boss is complete chaos. It took me, I had to team up with someone because it took me so long to do it on my own. And the people, that's one thing I don't understand about the Souls community, and maybe people down in the comments could answer this, of why it is so frowned upon from some people in the community to do co-op when you're trying to beat a game. I never understood that.
That's frowned upon because
Yeah,
people always came to me and said, "Oh, you can make it easier by having somebody else." And that how's that frowned upon?
I don't
Because
know.
like with like the whole Souls games, you could I don't know, you need all the help you could get. So like co-op would be, I guess, preferred, but even anything trying to make it easier, it's always looked down upon
I
for some
don't,
reason.
I don't even understand it because like there's so many things like I've had my share, fair share of criticisms for Elden Ring, like accessibility wise. There was an article that came out where the someone who was, they already had difficulty seeing. They just really had not so great vision, and the text box fades into the background a little bit, so you can't really see a lot of the text or the lore sometimes whenever an NPC is talking. So you don't have really an
Barely
option.
see it. You see
Yeah,
in Elden Ring, I could barely see one. I think I killed one on accident
I know,
because I thought it
same.
was an enemy.
Same. It's just like,
But
oh, okay, sorry, dude.
yeah, so it's like when I talk about like easier modes and stuff, I don't mean for accessibility. I mean for like an easier time.
Oh,
People
okay,
think that
okay.
I mean like, oh, for disabilities and stuff. I'm like, that's cool, have that there, but no, just because I suck. An easier mode would be nice, and then people automatically think like, oh, an easier mode means like just gonna breeze through the game. I'm just talking
No,
about an
yeah.
easier mode souls wise,
Yeah,
whatever that is.
that way at least it's more manageable and approachable for people. That way, like if you want to chill with the game, you can and not having to worry to die a bajillion times, you know?
Yeah, so I'm not talking about like an easy breezy, you breaking the game kind of
Mhm.
mode,
Yeah.
but a more accessible mode. Because when I started Elden Ring, there was this boss outside on a horse,
Oh, yeah, the
and
tree sentinel.
I spent so much time trying to beat him because he's in the beginning area. So I thought that I should be able to beat him.
Yeah.
But people are like, "Oh, that's like an end game kind of enemy." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What is he doing there then?"
That's what,
Like,
yeah. I thought that that was weird too, because, like, one of the things, I'm glad that you mentioned this, because one thing that I had such a difficult time with was which places to go for different enemies. Of like, when you've leveled up, it was kind of convoluted because when you're going into the game, there's no, and I'm a very type A personality. I need direction a lot of the time. So whenever I didn't see like objectives or a map in a AAA game that is for today, I got kind of peeved because I know that like typically in Souls games you're supposed to find your way around and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know, give me a direction. I love finding my way around, but give me like a base of where I'm supposed to go.
yeah, because I knew like it's hard. So I'm trying, when off the gate, I'm trying to get as much experience. I see this dude on a horse and I'm thinking, oh, they put him there, so getting some experience. Yeah, he was harder, but I like sneaked to him. I tried hitting him with magic from afar, but it did like so little damage. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I just effed it and moved on because it's easy just to ignore him. But like gameplay wise, not gameplay wise, but like game design wise, why is he there? Why is he just chilling in like level one area?
That is something I
And
agree with. Yeah.
I play a lot of RPGs and JRPGs, so like for me, I know where I'm going based on the enemy levels. If they're like correlated to me, at least a little bit. So like, dude with the horse, why are you there? Like who said let me put an end game enemy right at the gate?
Yeah.
And another thing that bothered me was the tutorial. I died, and I was like, wait, they just boot me off the tutorial because I died. That happened in Demon Souls. I thought it
Yeah.
was just that game, but in Elden Ring, I was like, they did not just do that again.
It's a very
God
From
damn it.
Software type move to do that, like, constantly. They did it in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, where you have like a little bit of gameplay and you meet somebody and you do some objectives, and then you go in and you meet a boss that you don't encounter, I think, until like maybe like somewhat in the middle ish of the game, still pretty much in the beginning. But yeah, they do that with that one too. It's a very From Software move.
I understand because I'm trying to learn the basics of how to, what my class is and what it does. And then they just throw an enemy that they know you're gonna die if you're a beginner.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, why would they do that in a tutorial? Like, I need all the tutorial I could get right now.
I feel like they kind of
I got
rickroll.
so
They get rickrolled a lot. Like, they just rickroll everybody.
I'm like, why is this here? Little cheekies. But like, my question to most Souls fans is like, would you like the game if it wasn't hard? Like, would you still have?
Interesting. I think the motivation, because being a Dark Souls fan, I can partially answer this. It'll be so interesting to see how the comments are. But for me personally, I got through the game because of its difficulty. And I know it sounds kind of convoluted, but when I first started, I started with Dark Souls 1, and it was like last June, and I had such a difficult time with one of the bosses. It was Smo and Ornstein, and I thought, I'm never going to accomplish this. I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to complete it. And I got through it after like 50, 60 some tries. And it's weird to say, but a game actually made me feel more confident in how I approach things. And the same with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, the same with Dark Souls 3. All those games, I didn't think in certain sections I would complete it. And I think because of that difficulty, it pushed me to be more confident and do things and play games I wouldn't necessarily have tried otherwise. Because normally when I saw the trailer for Elden Ring, I was like, oh, this is, kind of stupid. It's like stuff I've seen before. And then one of my friends under the YouTuber Satoshi Games commented underneath saying like, well, you should give it a chance, at least try Dark Souls 1, see if you like it. And that's how I got hooked. So.
Yeah. Like, I saw through Twitter, like, your, like, Souls journey. You were beating 1, 2, 3. I was like, damn, girl.
It was.
But for me, like, I don't really get that same experience. Because I would love to experience Dark Souls for the story and the lore. Because Elden Ring was beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
Absolutely.
But, like, I just can't get past the difficulty. And I always wonder, is it just the difficulty that brings people to the games? Or is it the actual lore and the gameplay and the type of game like Skyrim? Skyrim's not hard, but
I think this is
it has its fan base.
Yeah, I mean, like, personally, I've never played Skyrim before, so I can't say in comparison to that. No, I've never played it. I know, like, so many people are like, you've never played Skyrim.
I was like, what?
That's like whenever I told people.
I have like 10 copies of it.
That's like when I told people last month that I never played a Kirby game. And I was like, oh, wait, what? Are you serious? And I finally got to play the demo of the new Kirby game that's out. And the way you feel about Elden Ring is the way I feel about Kirby. I'm sorry.
I mean, the game gets hard at like post game, but you'll probably breeze right through it.
It's
Kirby is a game where it's like more enjoying the adventure kind of vibe. Yeah, I don't get the thrill of beating a boss in Souls games. Like, I don't get the feeling of accomplishment. I get more dread, like, oh, we gotta do this again. Like, unless I roll credits, I'm like,
Yeah, that's the thing, too, of where, like, whenever I was playing through the demo of Kirby, I was like, okay, this is freaking adorable, but no offense to Kirby fans anywhere, because I know y'all are going to be lurking over here. It bored the crap out of me. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the story, I don't know if it was gameplay, whatever it was, but for me it was just like, I don't know, I didn't find enjoyment out of it for some reason. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know, it's interesting because it's like, so that's why there's so many different types of games for everyone. There's, 90s style games, there's JRPGs, there's, horror games, there's all this kind of stuff. There's like some horror games that I won't touch because I just think they're too gross. And, I know that everybody has their games. But one thing I want to know from you is that if you had to pick your top 5 games that you will always go back to, no matter what would those be?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Nier
Nice.
Automata, um, Nier. Can I just combine those two?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Atelier series.
Mm.
I just said series because it's like there's a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Um, I have a lot of games that I love. Persona is a good one. Did I say Persona?
No, you did.
I don't think it's.
I've heard it's so good. I haven't gotten to play it yet.
You haven't played 5?
No, not yet.
Girl, get
Yeah.
on that.
I know. I have to play more and more JRPGs because I'm just starting in my JRP journey because I played my.
JRPGs are my bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's my favorite genre.
They're so good. Like I played my first Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy 15. I bawled like a baby.
Yep, it's sad.
It-
Type 0 is my favorite, but nobody likes it, so
I actually have that game. I have that on my list to review, and I'm ready for the emotion. I'm ready.
like that one did not hold back. It's like rated M.
Rated M for wait. I was about to say rated M for emotion. Okay, it's just one of those days.
But yeah. What top 5 games that you could always go back to? I'll probably revive my list because
yeah.
it changes.
It does. It's so frequent. And I know like all gamers everywhere can relate because it's like your top 5 will be different like a month later. I think.
Yeah, and I enjoy a lot of games, so
Yeah, I feel that. I'm trying to think like. Oh, that's a difficult. Okay. Resident Evil 1 remake because that was the first game I ever played and I have such a bias towards it. Cyberpunk 2077, Death Stranding.
well, that's weird.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games. I love the story in Cyberpunk. It's so good. Let's see,
Was it buggy?
for me, I only get like on launch, I only experienced 5 bugs. It wasn't bad at all whatsoever. I know I'm like the
I've heard horror stories.
I am the oddball out in the conversation because anytime I tell people that, they're like, "Oh no, why? I hate you right now."
Like, I have to play The Witcher, but
That's number 4. That is for me number
oh,
4. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I love The Witcher. Let's see, what is it? Resident Evil, Death Stranding, Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, Witcher, and oh gosh, what other one? Probably Detroit Become Human because I just finished that and it's an incredible game.
I actually have the game. I have to catch up on my PlayStation,
It's so good.
but
Like
the graphics look pretty. I
I
can tell you that.
I was shocked by the graphics when I saw the first commercial that they did for it was apparently just a test that they did to show the capabilities of what the PS4 can do and then they turned it into an entire game. And I saw that the statue of Kara and I was like, wait, that's not a real person.
Yeah, like they look really like realistic. But for me, I'm a gamer. I like a lot of types of games, and I'm always open to try new stuff. Like I hate horror games, but I play Doki Doki,
Nice.
and I'm not like I'm okay with gore and stuff, but psychological horror just hits me different. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
I can't.
that was a difficult title for a lot of people. It's so strange because it's like very early on when I played that game when it was originally free on I think it was Game Jolt or something. One
Mhm.
person was like, "Why aren't you cringing when you're playing this?" I was like, I have degree in psychology, so I'm kind of okay with this right now. It's, it's not really too far-fetched, because that's what I find interesting about human behavior and the human mind in general. Like, everybody will feel differently with the same thing. And I think that's really, really cool. Like, the psychological horror might not be your thing, and someone might feel desensitized to another part of it. So it's
Oh,
fascinating.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
It's my
Okay.
favorite type of horror.
Okay.
But I don't like the jump scares and stuff, but like the psychological horrors, I love them and I hate them because it's like gets in my head, but then I'm like, damn.
Yeah. It hits a certain part.
Yeah, but I like to try different games because I'm mostly Nintendo, but I do have PlayStation, Xbox, PC. So I always like to, go out of my comfort zone because I used to only play like really cutesy games, and that kind of like got boring after a certain time or a certain age. I'm like, okay, I need to try these, realistic games.
What was one of the first games that you branched out into your comfort zone? Was it Doki Doki, or was it anything else that really caught your eye? You're like, oh, let me try this.
No, it was not Doki Doki. It was I think Skyrim, really.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Trying to get out the cartoony-ish kind of feel.
Oh, interesting.
But that was years ago.
Yeah,
That's like
it's fascinating to me how many like people love Skyrim. But for it's interesting because it's like I try to avoid as much as I can, because just for personal reasons I don't play it.
I wanted to ask you something because
Yeah.
one of my favorite games is Fallout New Vegas, and I'm just like, ooh, she's not enjoying. Ooh, what happened there?
Oh, that cracks. All right, let's get into it. I'm ready.
Like, it's one of my favorite games, and I'm like, well, without like giving away, because you're gonna probably do a review or something.
It's interesting because it's like I've stated why I don't enjoy it on Twitter and everything like that. Overall, I think the Fallout games are a buggy mess that they mostly rely on the fans to fix, because Todd Howard says it just works, which hasn't been working for quite some time. But that's
like Skyrim games too.
Oh my god! Oh no,
The mod community.
They are angels sent from above.
They are.
They are incredible. The main reason why I didn't like Fallout New Vegas was because the bugs, and for me personally, like the way I didn't use any mods on it because I wanted to see it in its original state. So if I enjoyed it, I could be like, hey, let me now try it with modifications and see how it is. And at first I was really enjoying it. I was like, oh, the music is good, the storytelling is so good, the character interactions, like I was really vibing with it, and I was like, oh my god, it's so funny. This one guy is like, I just won the lottery. I'm like, okay, you just won the lottery. And I'm like, I was loving it. I was really vibing with it. And then came the different bugs of where there were different characters who, after I would finish a quest, like a main quest for the story, they wouldn't show up so I could complete the quest.
Oh, well, yeah. So it was mostly because of the performance, not like the game.
No.
Like as it's.
Oh no, there was part of the story for the DLC, Honest Hearts, that I thought was rather racist towards colonization, and even one of my
I didn't want to touch that tweet. I'm like,
yeah, one of my friends.
You're right. But
yeah, one of my friends who is, I believe to my knowledge, she is Native American. She didn't like it either. And she was just like, besides the bugs and Honest Hearts, it's a pretty decent game. I was like, I have to agree. Like, I can see potential in this game. I can see potential more so in this installment than Fallout 3 at all, because Fallout 3, no offense to the Fallout fans, is my just most hated game ever, quite frankly, because
I don't like Fallout 3 either.
Yeah, it has racism upon racism. It has bugs. It has questionable ideals that are just sugar coated in pedantic sarcasm.
Question: when you say like racism and stuff, do you mean like because the games are set in this alternative 1950s nuclear family kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Is it like how should I say this without like sounding bad? Is that like I don't want to say that I give it a pass, but like
You see, the thing is that if a game does it in an educational way that is teaching the person about racism, about the use of certain words, about, what idealisms were back then, I feel like if it's done in an educational way, it can be used as something to teach someone. But I feel like, there's so many people who have told me that, oh, it's supposed to be a caricature basically of the United States. It's supposed to be this fun, really poorly timed, sarcastic thing. And I guess it's just me that I never really found it funny, because when I saw the perk on Reddit, it was a thread that I did, that I saw on, for like the research I was doing for the article. It had the perk of where, basically it was of colonization, of where like hold on a second, I have the exact quote actually over here because I print out some of the articles and everything. Hold on a second. There was an upgrade that you can get where it states in the description, you don't take kindly to raiders, junkies, or tribals trying to stay alive in civilized lands. And I was kind of shook at that, because that's kind of what colonization is to an extent, kind of mocking it to a degree. So whenever I read that and I saw that, it was kind of the same thing in Fallout 3 that I saw, where there was a white gangster calling a black man a knuckle dragger, which is a derogatory term for a black person. I was kind of taken aback by that, and people might think it's funny, but I just think it's just really bad humor. It's not,
it is. I mean, the whole setting of like Fallout is like this alternate war between the Chinese or something. And then everyone just threw nukes and boom.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
it is a very tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, because it's not really set in our world. Even like I think it's set in like one of the games or one of the interviews, the guy was like, oh, well, it's set in an alternate world where like they didn't discover like this thing that made technology small. That's why everything in the game is so bulky. So I'm like, if you look at it that way, I guess, but
Yeah.
I could kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's still portraying people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I always think of it from this perspective, if this helps anybody who's watching or you to understand my perspective of where people make these games, so ideals, traits, whatever it may be, it's kind of like when you're passing something on to your children, or when you're teaching someone something, those things are passed on to the game. So when I think about it, I think people put this in. People made these dialogue lines, people wrote these different structures for the characters to have. And I can understand, and the thing is that I can understand why people are as in love with the series as they are, because it was one of the first of its kind. It was the first really open world game that we ever got in 2009. It was really awesome, and it really portrayed something that had a lot of potential, I think. But besides, the music, and besides a lot of the character interactions that you see, which are really cool, I think the universe, dare I say it, is rather bland, offensive, and trite, Like, for me, it just holds...
Have you played Fallout 4?
I did. I found it incredibly boring.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. The only
I'm
thing...
a huge Fallout fan.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't mind... the thing is that I don't really mind what people having such passion for the franchise, and the thing is that, again, I will say the mods, oh my god, the way that people do the modifications, they are just heaven sent, because if people didn't have the games with those people modifying them, it would not be as popular as it is. I truly believe that.
It wouldn't work, basically.
It just works, really doesn't work.
It's like some even with Skyrim made by Bethesda, like I'm sorry about my dogs.
No, you're fine.
Like the bugs are plenty. Some of them are very funny, but some of them are just game breaking, where you're just like, God damn it, I forgot to save. And like for me in Bethesda games, it's always instinct to save all the time. You move somewhere, save.
Yep.
and I put the instant save like every 1 minute or something.
You see, that's what I
Because
do
it
with
gets
Fallout.
crazy.
That's what I do with Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. I was like, I need a save, just on repeat save.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
because I think they know their games are buggy, so they
Yeah.
autosave.
And that's the thing too, of
But
where I'm hearing news about there being a Fallout 5, and people are asking me, "Are you gonna play Fallout 5?" I'm like, "You guys already know the answer to
that
this."
game is a myth. I don't think it's ever gonna come out because they did Fallout, what was it called? 76 or
Yeah,
64?
76.
I
Yeah.
forgot. And that one was a mess. Like it ruined the whole lore. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to ruin the lore of a Fallout game, but there it goes.
Yeah. That's what I
And
found
like
disappointing, because it actually did have a good lore behind it of what it was trying to accomplish, but I feel like 76, with all the bugs and the way it was released, it made it look worse than Cyberpunk. So,
and it didn't even look like a Fallout game. Everything was lush and green and not like radiated. I'm like, what is this?
yeah.
So I really did not like that game.
Yeah, and you know,
But
I will say though, I do have a lot of respect for Fallout fans. I really do, because you guys are dedicated. You guys love the franchise like no other, and you know, a lot of you are just extraordinarily friendly people. And the thing is that like, it's unfortunate that I can't enjoy it the way you guys can. And I've spoke about this even on Twitter, where like I feel like there's something wrong inside my head, of where like I always have to see something for what it is in my head, and I always have to state my opinion, and I always have to give a take. And the thing is like, doing journalism for a living, it sometimes is sucky to a degree, not because of the journalism aspect, but because of the response that you receive from people. With Fallout 3, I was afraid to open up Twitter because of the response that I got. I got borderline death threats. I got one death threat from somebody who was a friend of mine.
my gosh,
Yeah, it was
it's a
crazy.
game.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of got that with Elden Ring, so I
it's
get the point.
yeah, it's sad. I mean, like, there was one guy who I was a friend with, and he said, "You're probably just playing the game wrong. You know, maybe just go at it a different way." I was like,
'Cause there are like people or fans who are like not bashing them, but like, "Hey, let me help you. Let me help you play this game right." And I'm like, I like there was
yeah.
a bunch of people telling me about stuff in Elden Ring to make it easier, and I was just like, no, 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 I don't like it.
Yeah, it's borderline to like somewhat insulting whenever like people on the outside tell YouTubers kind of how to do their job, because it's like, this is technically what we do somewhat for a living. And I feel like,
I don't
you
mind
know,
like critiques or whatever or feedback because like it makes my content better, I guess. But when I keep saying no and someone's like, "But you know, try it this or try it that," or like I'm like, "No, I
you,
don't like
you
it. I
see,
don't."
constructive criticism is different from basically being like, "You're doing this wrong." You know?
Yeah, because like I don't mind if someone says, "Oh, maybe you should try this or maybe you should try that." Because I found a lot of games that I love now by someone just saying, "Hey, play this game." But when, like, people are like, "Oh, you just gotta try it this way, and you have to do this," and I'm like, "I don't want to." Or they say, like, "Open a Wikipedia or something." I'm like, "Doesn't that defeat the purpose?" You know how many people said that with Elden Ring, and I'm like,
Oh my
"And y'all
god.
don't want an easy mode?
I,
I don't get you."
I don't understand people sometimes. I feel like it's because they're hiding behind a keyboard and they're like, "I'm anonymous, so I can say anything I want to." Yeah, people
So,
do take things way too personally, though. That's the thing. Like, for me personally, I'm a
yeah.
blunt person. Like, I don't care. Like, it is gonna sound terrible, but I don't care about feelings. Like, if somebody's pissed off about a tweet that I did, okay, let them seethe, rise up from hell. It's okay, you know. And I think that's the thing of being a content creator too, where like, it's weird because you have to take what they say with a grain of salt, because we don't know these people. We don't know who they are behind the screen. We don't know them in our personal life. So it's very easy to dismiss that. And that's always what I just try to remember in the back of my head.
But back in the day, I used to be more, like, assertive. I used to be popping off all the time on Twitter. And but then I learned, like, you know, I want to grow my channel and stuff. I don't want to be like trying to instigate fights and stuff because some of my subscribers might not like that. Might think I'm just like a bitch.
Yeah, and that's
I don't know if
yeah.
you curse or not here, so
No, you can. It's absolutely fine with me. If it like, goes off and someone says like, mother effer or something like that, then I have to bleep it. But other than that, you're free to use those words at all. I
I
mean,
usually don't curse on my videos because YouTube. So I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know if she does, so I'm just gonna spell it out.
It's interesting too because like this is actually a question I've been wanting to ask you from your perspective when you started your channel 4 years ago to now. What is one of the biggest lessons you learned in content creation so far?
Oof, that's a loaded one. I've learned that, hmm, like good or bad lessons.
It could be either, like if you learned something that was really impactful for you, good or bad.
Okay, I learned I can't, I don't even know like, hmm. I guess I'm trying to say I've learned how to, you know, come out more, be
Okay.
myself. Because if you look at my old videos, like I'm a completely different person. But I've learned how to, you know, I guess be more not assertive, what's the word? Extroverted.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually
That's
really
pretty
cool.
basic, and I probably will get back to you on a better answer. It's just because I was like, because I've learned a lot of things. I've learned um how to edit. I'm still learning how to edit. I'm learning how to do all these things, like things I should have learned in college, but I went to college for nursing and
Oh,
I threw away
nice.
that degree. So I was like, well, that was a waste. But
No
I've
knowledge gained is ever a waste, in my opinion.
that's true. But, you know, I've learned a lot of things. And I've learned, you know, people are some people are just like mean.
Yeah.
Best way of saying it.
Exactly. That is the nicest way you could possibly say it, actually.
Yeah, because I've been through the ringer.
It's fascinating to me because it's like, for me, I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is how to stand up for myself. Because when I was younger, I started YouTube when I was 23 and I'm 29 now. So
That's a good point,
yeah,
yeah.
whenever I would be on YouTube, I would always kind of like crumble beneath opinions and think that I wasn't, supposed to stand up or speak up for myself at all or anything. And, I learned from people who had told me that, oh, yeah, this is wrong. You should totally be speaking up about this. And I think the first instance of that was like, speaking out on like the game company that I worked at that didn't pay me, that didn't really give me any
Mhm.
compensation for any work. And I speaked out, I did a video about that. And I felt so like powerful afterwards. I don't know what word to use for that, but it's one of those things of where like,
Yeah.
now on Twitter, it's like if I see something and I'm just like, if someone's like talking smack back to me, I don't act mean to them, but I stand up for myself more now. And I'm just like, well, no, actually, this isn't true. Or actually, did you think about it from this way? Where before I would just be like, oh, okay, you're right. you know?
Yeah, I was like that at first, and weirdly enough, I had, like, stuff happen where I'm kind of like that a little bit now again, where people just walk all over me, so I have to get out of that spell. Cause I don't know, when I get depressed, I kind of those old traits kinda come back,
I can
and I
understand
have
that.
to work on it and do it again. Cause it's like, 'cause, recently I had a who I thought was a friend, wasn't a friend, like, long story short, and that really affected me, so I kinda have to, like, recover. I did a video on it, and it did make me feel better.
See, that
So
another
yeah.
benefit of YouTube. It's kind of cathartic to get those thoughts out there and be like, this is how I'm feeling. That it makes me envy vloggers and daily vloggers. I don't know how the hell they do it. Like their entire life is just there on YouTube, and I'm like, how? How do you do this?
Where's your tripod?
It's just a
what the
part
heck?
of their hands now. It's just like metamorphosized into the hand.
For real. But yeah, um, I'm getting out of that funk now, and yeah, just living my life. So I didn't put anyone on blast or anything. I
Okay.
kept names out. I didn't want to, but I was like,
Yeah.
we share a lot of subscribers, and I don't want to like put him.
Oh, it's another YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a good thing that you didn't name. That would not have ended well.
Yeah, I was just like, let me take the hard road on this one.
Doesn't it suck whenever sometimes you gotta take the high road? I hate it. I hate it.
I did have a spat on Twitter about it. Like it was weird.
Wait
It
a
was
second,
weird.
that's
If
what
you
that
were
was
there,
about?
it was part of it. Yeah,
Oh my
that whole
gosh.
mess.
I was like, wait, what had gotten her so upset? I was like wondering, I didn't want to pry, I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, oh my gosh, now I know. Now I know, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was like to anyone who saw that, it was like, what the heck are they talking about? And then it's because I couldn't talk to that person because they blocked me, and then they unblocked me, and then like I saw a tweet and I was like, but like
That's
that's how it
ridiculous.
started.
That is
And they
ridiculous.
caught me in a bad day, so
It's just ridiculous, honestly, that
uh,
like YouTube is kind of, it's one of the best things that can happen to us, but also it's like a breeding ground and a cesspool for negativity and drama as well. That's why I don't like ever go
yeah.
near any of the drama channels. I don't watch any of that stuff. Like my guilty pleasure show is Keeping Up with the Kardashians, if that says anything about me. Like that's the only
But
kind of
I'm
drama.
fortunate enough I don't get into drama that much. Not that I know of, but like I've had little spats and stuff. So,
See, that's good.
but
That's see, kids. If you want to be a YouTuber, no drama. Don't get into drama. It's no good for your health at all.
it's not. It's good for views, bad for your health.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, sell yourself to the devil for 5 million views, cash or check.
Like, nah, thank you.
No, but one thing I actually am curious about with your channel now, I would love to know because I always love hearing starter stories. What was your main reason for starting a YouTube channel?
Well, I had a lot of opinions on Twitter, and I I follow this other bigger YouTuber, Dreamcast
Oh,
guy,
nice.
and he kind of inspired me. Like, I don't know, I kind of just wanted to make a channel.
That's really cool.
So if he could make one, I can make one.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah, it's not like the best, like, you know, it inspired me and but yeah, I just got in front of a camera, did a video with no tripod, just my phone in my hand, and just kept going.
yeah, I love that. That's actually really
And
cool.
yeah, and yeah, I had a lot of time on my hand too, so I was like, why not?
It's like everybody starts somewhere. It's like, and now you have like what, over 4,000 subscribers?
Yeah,
That's a
I mean, I'm very proud of him.
yeah.
Even though I want to grow larger and stuff, I am proud of where I am.
Yeah. It's like the little
Mm.
subscribers are your little children. It's like I'm proud of these precious little ones. They grown up so fast.
Yeah, some of them I've known since like my early days.
I understand
Because I
that.
have a really, nice community. My mods got me this chair.
That's amazing. Oh
Like,
my gosh.
we're like, me and my mods are very tight knit kind of people
That's
on
amazing.
Discord and stuff. So I try to be a community channel. That's kind of hard though. Because, like, um, sometimes people come to me with their problems, and I try to help, but sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in the same boat as you, fam.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. A lot of YouTubers need a psychiatrist, actually, or some therapy. Like,
Yeah.
YouTube, can you, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Provide that in our
because
pension.
burnout is a thing. And,
It is.
yeah,
And
but
what has
it's
been,
part of the territory.
it is. And like, what has been your experience with burnout? Because anytime that I get burnt out, I can't find anything creative to do. Like, I just feel exhausted.
Yeah, that's what I get when I get burned out. My ideas stop flowing. My videos are more like rigid and scripted.
Mhm.
It's just the burnt out feeling.
Yeah. It's kind of like senioritis
Like,
whenever you're in high school and you just want to get out of there.
exactly, like, yeah, I usually just live stream in the weekends and then video in the week.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
like, it's the algorithm changes. I don't know what it wants.
I don't know.
I don't know what it needs to appease its soul or something.
We just have to like
But when it
get,
swings your way, it's like, dang,
yeah.
thank you.
It's just like we have to give it some fruit or like chocolate or something to appease it.
Like, you don't know. This may not be true, but I always do the YouTube surveys just in case. They say it's anonymous, but it's Google. I know y'all know it's me. So I do them just in case, and I try out all their beta stuff just to, appease somebody.
Yeah, and it's one of those things
It's
too. It's like it can never hurt, but it's like, do I just do this just in case?
just in case. Like, I don't want to, like, decline the survey and they'll be like, okay, hit list or something.
Just be like
So,
Hitman 3. It's like, what's gonna happen to me?
yeah, they say it's confidential, but
Is it
okay.
really? Is it YouTube? Is it really
Is it
confidential? You can be
really?
honest with us, okay? I mean, we're kind of in your circle. We kind of are in the cool crowd. I'm not in the cool crowd, but we can be in the cool crowd if you let us. YouTube.
Like, yeah, I do their stuff. I read their blogs, anything to just be like on the up and up.
3 questions. It's gonna be like not fire round, but kind of fire round. What are 3 games that you want to play that you have yet to play right now?
I want to play that I have yet to play.
Yeah,
Uh, like games that are coming out or just general.
just in general.
I want to play Fire Emblem Three Hopes and Breath of the Wild 2.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
That one comes out next year, but I want to play it.
It needs to come out sooner, and they need to listen, Nintendo. You guys need to make a remake of The Wind Waker. I'm saying this right now. It needs to come out. It needs to happen.
Maybe not a remake, but port that baby over, please.
It was my first Zelda game. I needed
Twilight Princess.
Yes, please.
Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, just get him out.
Please port
Just
it.
get him out, please.
Port it. I want to be able to sail the open Zelda seas. I want to be able to cruise and peruse and look at all the things and be able to like hear. I want to be able to hear Link say "Ha." I want to hear him say that again.
I mean, the game has aged pretty well. The graphics are they did the HD one, which looks beautiful.
It does. I was so impressed with that. I was like, "Oh, this is from GameCube days. This is really cool looking."
Yeah, so it's held up. But what about you? What games are you looking forward to playing?
I'm looking forward to Scorn. I cannot wait to play Scorn. I am looking forward to the remake of Last of Us Part 1. Even though I don't think it needs a remake personally, I feel like for me, always like, I'm always going to be curious about what something looks like and how it's, going to be changed.
Yeah,
They,
that's probably when I'm gonna jump in and actually play it.
yeah, it's
Might as well.
they're changing some of the characters to look a little bit older, and I think that's the one thing I have a little bit of a pet peeve with right now, if anything. And the other game that I really want to play is Silent Hill Downpour, which I actually have that coming in the mail either tomorrow or the next day. And it's fun because like they have it as backwards compatible for the Xbox. So I went and I looked online and I was like, oh, let me try and get it. They don't have it anymore in the store, but if you have a physical copy of it, you can play it at Xbox Series X. I'm like, I'm getting it. This is so cool. So yeah.
I heard you're more of an Xbox person.
I'm actually more of a PC person in reality. I love Xbox and I love
Well, they're kind of one and the same.
yeah,
Really.
they are. This is why I tell people if you're gonna do anything, buy a PC and a PlayStation. You don't need an Xbox. You know.
Well, you maybe a Switch.
And a Switch. That's true. For travel purposes or just because like it's cozy. Like I'm just going to put it out there. It's cozy. It's nice to snuggle up and just play your Switch and play some Animal Crossing.
I love my cozy games.
I know. Right? Oh my god. Wait, have you played the game Coffee Talk? Because that is such a cozy, wonderful game. It's so nice.
I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
I think you're going to like it. It's really adorable. The art and like the story itself, it's so cute. It's really nice.
Yeah.
My other question. Let's see. Okay, so second to last question. If you could develop or could have developed any game that is one of your favorites, what would you develop?
Like, what game I would develop?
Like
that's a sequel to the game?
Like, yeah, if you were to take in a game, like let's take one of your favorite games and develop, you know, like a sequel to that game or developed that game, like which one would that be?
Probably Nier Automata, but you have to be Yoko Taro to handle all that. So
that's true.
Maybe a Zelda game. I don't know. I don't think I'll do it justice. I'm not a game dev. I'm just like a person with a lot of opinions. But making a Zelda game would be so nice. Or like even having a cameo, like a little one-liner there.
That would be so fun.
That would be nice.
That would be so fun.
But
let's see.
Yeah. I would love to be like in like looking at the process of making a Zelda game and all that stuff. Oof.
That would be so cool.
That would be a dream.
That would be so cool. Just be like a fly on the wall even. You don't even have to feed me or give me pizza. Just let me see how that's created.
Yo, being a fly on the wall on Nintendo would be so... Because like, Nintendo, you never know what they're gonna do.
Right?
They're so weird. Like, they just came out with soccer or like Mario Battle Strikers.
Yeah.
It's a soccer game, but online, you can only play with one person.
Interesting.
Make that make sense? Like, I don't know.
What?
It's like, there's always a caveat with anything Nintendo. Like, oh, yay, wait, we could do this? What's the trade-off? Because it's always a trade-off. You never know. It's like, what's going on in there?
You know what? It's probably the secret cult of cuteness. That's all I can think of. Because they have so much stuff that they do and so much awesomeness that they bring, but it's like, oh, you know, like what was it when they came out with the bundle for Nintendo Switch with the DLC for Animal Crossings, of where it was such a weird bundle of where the DLC, you know, it's not like exclusive or something. Maybe I'm phrasing that wrong, of where like you can buy it separately, but if you buy like a few months of it, the
expansion packs?
Yeah, the expansion packs and everything like that. And I was like, this is strange.
It's kind of like a freebie.
Yeah.
But like, I bought it and I got the expansion pass. Because I had the DLC, I wanted to play it, and then I got the expansion. I'm like, geez, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Nintendo, they do good stuff. They make good quality games, but sometimes I'm just like, good lord, what is going on over there?
I know, right?
It's so weird.
I don't understand it sometimes. It's the same with Konami for like Silent Hill fans. Like we're here like, why another pachinko machine? We don't need this.
Oh yeah. I hate mobile games and free to play. I hate free to play games, and people are like, "Why? It's free." I'm like, "It's never free.
No.
Nothing in life is free.
Well,
Someone's paying for
the
that."
thing that they're doing is like with a pachinko machine, they're doing like slots at Vegas kind of stuff. It's like we don't need that. We like so.
Those are what.
Yeah, pachinko
That's
machines
what
are.
pachinko means.
Yeah, pachinkos are slot machines.
That's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and they came out with stuff of like, what was it, skateboards? I think of that had the Silent Hill characters on it, and I'm like, we want a remake of 1, 2, and 3. We don't need like skateboards. Like,
I don't know. I think the Japan audience accepts like microtransactions and stuff like that more than us. Cause I don't like my microtransactions. I don't.
you see, like I don't.
It ruins the game.
Like there's an exception, I will say. If a microtransaction is done well where it's not forced on the player, then I think it's okay because like if you're not forced to buy it, then it's not exactly something that someone needs in the game anyway. So like they have the choice whether or not to buy it or to just opt out of it. But if they're literally forcing the player to get this or they can't complete the game, then that's an issue.
Like, oh, buy this and you get XP or something. You're like, oh. Or like Genshin Impact. I wanted to like I played it. It was free to play, so I was kind of being a hypocrite there, but I wanted to try it to see if it's a cozy game. It's not, because it's not cozy putting your credit card info in there and just running the slots to see if you get a cool character.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I just do free to play for Genshin Impact right now. I don't bother putting in that stuff. It's like you have to get me to really enjoy a game to put my money into it.
Yeah, but I want all those cute characters and stuff. You gotta pay the money. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's like
No.
no.
Bye.
It's like, peace out, Cub Scout. Not doing this right now. I'd rather play Cozy Grove.
Exactly.
So my last question for you is, if you were to take over another YouTuber's channel for one day, who would it be?
For one day.
You upload what?
PewDiePie.
Yes, I love that answer. I love it
I
so
mean,
much.
he's the top of the top.
He's the creme de la creme YouTuber, and he made me.
I mean, I don't really watch PewDiePie as much lately, but like, if I'm gonna take over somebody, might as well be the one on top.
Honestly,
For a day, like, hi guys.
what's going on, bro? It's like PewDiePie. It's like, I mean, like, I feel like I would just do it to like have the bro fist. It's like bro fist.
Yeah, and like,
Honestly, I feel like it's
I like
so,
imagine when he live streams, his chat goes like, it's like 60 miles an hour. I don't
saw
like Pokimane. I
oh
don't
my
know.
God, I saw one live stream of his, and I just typed out hi, and then it went. I was like, whoa.
Like I don't even want to say hi, because I'm a huge fan of Pokimane. I know
Same.
she's been in controversies, but I just like her, so I watch her stream sometimes, and they're like, even in slow mo, it's like,
it's still going fast.
Like, and she's just like she glances a little bit, and she just does her stuff, and I'm like, how does she answer questions? Her mods must be going insane.
I can't even imagine. Like, oh my gosh, those mods need like a 401k and a pension plan.
Yeah, like if you're a mod for a high tier YouTuber streamer,
Yeah,
you need to get paid.
Oh,
That's like full-time job.
absolutely. Like for me, if I were to take over one YouTuber for one day, it would be Jacksepticeye. I love that guy's content. Like just to say top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Yeah, I love him.
No, it would be even better. Top of the morning. It's PewDiePie.
Now I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
You're a gaming YouTuber?
Yes.
If you were to have a whole day where you just did a different niche of YouTube videos, what would it be?
Oh. See, that's interesting.
I always wanted to do that as a challenge.
Well, I used to have a YouTube channel for music. So I used to do just strictly music back in the day. But I don't know, if I were to do something completely that wasn't my niche, it would probably be travel. Like I've always wanted to do just for one day travel vlogging because I think it's so cool, and I think it's just like, you know, all these different YouTubers like Casey Neistat, who, you know, he'll just like review different 5-star airplanes and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just really interesting, and it's like
That would be cool.
that would just be
this
so
bed is
rad.
comfortable.
Exactly. It's just like this chair reclines at the perfect angle. You know?
And like the toilet has all this buttons and stuff. Yeah,
It has RGB.
It's RGB. Cause I always like I wanted to do this challenge one day when I get big or something, to take a whole bunch of YouTubers and put like different niches in a hat, and whatever one they picked, they had to do it for like one video.
I love that so much.
So if a dude got like a beauty YouTuber for a day.
I love that. That would be amazing. YouTube, please give this girl monies so she can get these YouTubers. That would be absolutely amazing. Just imagine Dan Howell, beauty YouTuber for a day.
Yeah, like everyone just picks out a hat. Someone gets ASMR. Someone else gets like the drama channel.
And instead of just drama, they talk about like the Animal Crossing islands and be like, one animal did not like the other's hat that day.
Or like an art. And like they try to draw art.
My
and stuff. That'd be hilarious.
That would be absolutely incredible, honestly. I feel like there's so much possibility for different types of YouTube channel. Like, what if one person got paranormal investigation?
Jesus.
It's so
It's
scary.
like it's a good way to massage that creative muscle of yours.
Yep.
Like to just do something out of your comfort zone.
I agree.
I was like, man, I wanted to do something like Mr. Beast style where I just have YouTubers do something different.
That would be really cool, though. Like, honestly, I mean, this podcast is going on YouTube, so you never know. YouTube could be like, "Hey, we like that idea. Let's try this out," and then you could get, you know, Mr. Beast doing an ASMR video for one day.
Oh man, I feel bad for the ones who like have to lick the ear.
I listened to that only once, and I kind of went full body cringe. Like I love ASMR, but that to me felt like an invasion of privacy. It's then there are those weird sections of YouTube that I do, like. I actually
put like autoplay on.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, what the freak?
It's like demonic possession in children under 5. What? It's like, it's so weird because it's like you get to that section and you just like keep going down the rabbit hole. It's like it started out cute PewDiePie videos and now it's like weird paranormal investigation.
Someone actually told me they found my channel through autoplay. They're like, oh, I just woke up and you were there. I was like, oh, she's kind of cool. Subscribe. I'm like, they.
See, that's really sweet, but also like they said, I woke up and you were there. Kind of creepy.
No, because like I was probably on autoplay, so like they woke up and they're like, "Oh, well, she seems pretty cool." Okay.
Yeah, I mean, are you sure you were just staring at them in their sleep, Mandy? Are you sure?
No.
It's just like I am here to give you wholesome content.
But I do have a lot of streams, so they probably put the mixer on or something.
Yeah. But I do have to say, this podcast has been just absolutely wonderful, and I do appreciate you taking the time out to join me on this. It's just been so awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And,
appreciate it.
And you guys, if you want to follow Mandy on the Twitter, I sound like an old grandma. It's like, everybody follow the Mandy on the Twitter. Do it. On Twitter, on YouTube. You don't have a Twitch channel by chance, do you?
No.
Okay.
I have an account, but that's just to watch Twitch.
Okay.
Streamers.
Got you. So follow her on Twitter and YouTube. And yeah,
at Mandy Lee Plays.
At Mandy Lee Plays.
At Mandy Lee Plays is for Twitter. Mandy Lee Plays is for YouTube.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, it'll all be linked down in the description below so you guys can find her and enjoy her content. And you guys, if you all like our faces and what we do, please be sure to subscribe to both of our channels. Hit the bell down below because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you guys like all of our content, please be sure to stay casually nerdy, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, you guys.
Peace, peace.